Ladies and gentlemen, I did it again. First place for the third time ever playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Undefeated again, and this time with Chaining Burn, what? What? Burn got first place? And even not even a good build. It's literally that awful, this build. But I did win first place. 4-0. I don't remember my matchups. Well, I do remember. I just forgot my first matchup. Oh yeah, I played against Centurion, and they I just 2-0'd him very fast. Round 2 was against still the old Snake Eyes with Barone and Borrowlord Savage. Round 3 was against Fish. How do we call it again? With the SP Little Fish. I forgot how they were called. The goatees, yeah. Just set floodgates, or set banish gates, and I don't care. And my last matchup was against Runic, Bestial, Farm of Alves-ish guy. It was very awesome. So I won an amazing match, very beautiful. So let's get into the deck profile. Of course. Wait a minute. Of course we are going to unpack it, but I don't like it when people just have that thing still on the mat and use it. Nah, that's not how we do it here. We are going to use this mat, throw it away, and yeah, look at this. Winning the Primiere event with Burn. Holy shit, I am very happy, man. I'm a very happy guy. Yeah. I had a very amazing pulls even. It was amazing. So just let's get into the deck profile, baby. Look at this, man. Look at this. I am so. So of course we start off with the monsters. 3 Ghost Mortar. I saw somebody play 2, but I just like to see this card because even though you do not always burn much, the negation is still something. So, for instance, I was playing against Runic, I lost, and I just negated his Field Spell Searcher 3 times in 3 games. The first game I did it 2 times, and the last game I did it once, and I just won. Not having access to the Field Spell is something I like. The most base card ever, definitely 3 of, is Mahama the Fairy Dragon. This card is amazing. When your opponent's turn, when the damage is dealt, you can activate this card's effect in the damage tab, of course. Summon this card, and then you can deal damage to your opponent equal to the damage you took, or gain those life points, right? It's a definite 3 of. I like to see, of course, you don't want to see 2, but that's with every monster. So next up, 3 Lava Golem, you know him, you love him. You do go second, by the way. You just go second, you just make your opponent let your opponent set up his board, and then just Lava Golem him, set 5 pass, activate some other cards. It's that good. So playing this in your main deck is very good. Burning a guy for 3000 is very good in this deck, because your burns are just like almost killing them or just not killing them, right? Yeah, it's just how it goes. Then I should play 3 Lord of the Heavenly Prison, but I just only have to. This is a very good card. There is nothing much to say. You can activate it for back row protection, and then when you activate a back row, you can summon or set a spell trap card, and you can use it this turn, or banish it next turn. This card is pretty good. This card is so good. For the spell card, those were the monster line shops. So for the spell cards, we played 3 Pot of Extravagance. It's just a draw 2, and a lot of people Ash this card. Yeah, a lot of people still play Ash or keep Ash in their main deck. This is your only Ashable card, so it is very good for me if they keep Ash in main deck, because if they negate this, it hurts really bad. But if you don't see it, you just have an extra accent. Of course, the last spell card is Chain Strike. I got to resolve this card once for only 1200 damage, because the deck that I have is not optimized, and I will show you why I say it. And I will explain why it's not optimized to play around this card, because playing around this card, it does tons and tons of damage, but I will tell you about it. 3 just desserts. They do 500 damage for every monster your opponent controls, so it can do a maximum up to 2,500. With that is a lot, right? But I mostly burn people for 1,000 because they didn't make that big of temples. Well, the next is 3,000. They also summon something in the act. I think most of them. I played 3 Gravedigger's Treble. I think 2 is just the maximum for having it in the main. Because if your opponent doesn't use isn't activating effects from his hand and or graveyard or banished, this card sucks to see. But like I said, I don't have the optimal build, so this is definitely well, these are only the only cards I could ever play. In the main, I played Magic Cylinder. This card is not the best card, but it did his thing. It negated attacks, it destroyed the life points of my opponent, and it did what it needed to do. The reason why you don't play 3 of this card is because this card's target, and there are other cards in your deck that do the same thing but don't target. I think I will definitely play less of this card. I don't know if I immediately want to remove everything from this card, but because I still kind of like it, because it's Magic Cylinder, you know, it's Magic Cylinder. This card is a better one, Dimension Wall. So this card is actually just the same as Magic Cylinder, but it doesn't negate the attack and doesn't target. It just makes from that battle, you take the damage, or the opponent takes the damage you would have taken. So that's very good. This would be probably a 3-off in my opinion. But I just got 2, and I couldn't finish the deck, so I just went with the cards that I had laying around. And you will see the last card is a trash ass card, but it was the only burn card I had laying around. 2 Ceasefire. This is a card you play at 3 maximum. This does 500 damage for each effect monster on the field, so that's pretty good. Not gonna lie, not going to lie. But I just didn't have 3. I played 2 Blessed Held by Destiny. This card is pretty good because it just destroys the hide attack position monster your opponent controls, and then they take the damage first, and then you take the damage. Because you will never have that spell or the trap card in the graveyard. Because if you would have, you would not take damage. But that's not how this card works, or that's not how you want to play it. Yep, it's a cool card. I have to say the art is beautiful. The art is amazing. Holy shit! But it's probably not the best card you can have. I played 2 Ring of Destructions because I could not find my other Ring of Destructions. I have like 12 of these, but I don't know where they are. Okay, I just don't know where they are. I like this card at 2, and I don't know if I want it at 3 because you just start a card, destroy it, right? So it is interruption. But it's only once per turn. I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it. To play it at 3. I think 2 is the best ratio. 2 Secret Barrels. Of course, playing 3 is optimum. Didn't have the third one yet. It's an okay card. You'll probably only burn for 800, 1200 at most. It is not the best card. It's just very hard to look for the best timing to use this card for the utmost effect. But I think 3 is still better because there are way better cards you can remove. A good card is Trap Trick. I like this card at 2 because I think 3 is too bricky, definitely with the ratios that I have at the moment. But Trap Trick just lets you send every trap card you have in your deck to the field, so that your opponent has to play differently. Because my opponent didn't have any negations on the board, but because I set Trap Trick, or I set Magic Cylinder with Trap Trick, he couldn't attack me because then he would die. So I was very safe in the moment, and I could just literally draw the out before he could draw the out, and I just kept setting more, and he just needs to play around those cards. So Trap Trick is very good. For the fun, I played 2 Blazing Mirror Force because they also burn, but they also destroy. I think this card will definitely not see the light of day anymore in this deck. But it is very funny. And then last, okay, here is the card I luckily never resolved, but I did set it, so I could kill someone with it. It is Attack Heresy. It is Attack Heresy. Where you take damage, activate this card, deal 700 damage to your opponent, and then you do an additional 300 for every attacker received in the graveyard. This is the only other burn card that I could play, and that's it. There's no other reason don't play this card, but it's very funny to see a Pharaoh Servant card see the light of day with this amazing art. Okay. Luckily, never see it really in my hand only once, and but never using it. So for the extra deck, they are just Awakening the Dragon cards. There is nothing special around these cards. There's nothing interesting to talk about these cards. They're just for Awakening the Dragon, just for extravagance. And there is just nothing you can say about these cards or that you want to say about these cards. Yep, just let it sink in. Just unaffected bodies or burn. I don't know if I've not even read the card. Is it oh no, you cannot even activate it. It doesn't even burn because it needs to have an Xyz material. That's very funny. So better play Typhon for Mahavila. The side deck is also not that optimized, but it is what it is. Awakening the Dragon just for side deck options. My opponent had Baron on the field but didn't pop any card, and luckily for him, because this card was on the field. This card was definitely on the field. Boo Boo Game, I like Boo Boo Game in the side deck. Some people had it in the main, but finding it in your opening hand just doesn't do much. And it does do more if your opponent sides into those cards. I also played 3D Barrier because you can searching D Barrier or getting D Barrier is good, and you can always set it with Trap Trick because it kills a lot of synchro decks. Yeah, it just kills a lot of synchro decks and fusion decks, of course. Nobody plays Pendulum, that's trash. Never sided into the card, but it was also a burn card that I could have played. You know, it burns on destruction. That's it. People will probably never see this card or attack this card ever, but it's still something. But it is still something. Some other cards, still the 2-offs. Let's just do this. This is just the Yang Zing. This card makes it that your opponent has to attack. So your on attack traps are definitely alive. Then just play one Curse of the Darkness. If you think your opponent lets you go first, which they never will, you can just side it in this card. Every time a player activates a spell card, burn them for 1,000. So good luck, Brandon. The Last Blessed Held by Destiny. Most of the times I would side this out for the other targeting cards like Magic Cylinder, just so one Magic Cylinder for this one, because this doesn't target, and the other way around, right? But if I couldn't destroy my opponent by card effects, by non-targeting card effects like Horse, I just side out this card and then side in other cards. And just Coffin Cellar every time a monster is sent to the graveyard, burn them for 100. Never sided it in, but it's like the same philosophy as this one, the Curse of Darkness. Just burn for 1,000, burn. So this was the deck list. It was very, very, very fun to play. All my opponents were like, "What are you playing? Why are you playing this?" It was very fun. Quick reasoning about Chain Strike. Why Chain Strike is not good in this deck. All the cards that I have are like targeting, or when your opponent does something, then activate. And it just very, very hurts with Chain Strike because you can only then activate it in the battle phase and then chain. So that's very bad. But I hope this week I get the other cards so I can play this deck a little bit more and know a bit more about it. Learn more about how to play against the deck, because this deck is not very interactive to play against. So I just think don't summon any monsters and that's how you win. I think that's how you play it. Just let them deck out. Just don't play any monsters. Just say pass turn, pass turn, pass turn, and pass turn. The only thing that I can do at that moment is Trap Trick and then have Lord of Heavenly Prison, but I don't think everybody's that smart to play like that. So thank you all for watching. It was an amazing Premiere event. I got the playmat. First ever winning one Premiere event. It's very cool to have happened. I have nothing much to say. It's just very interesting to play, I have to say. You have to count a lot, and certainly for my opponents that was the most time I was interacting is saying, "Hold up, I need to count because I can't count." And hopefully playing more with the deck, it will go smoother. Like, okay, I'm now chaining 1, 5 times 4 is X. Or how many cards do you have in your hand? 5. Okay, that's 2,000. That's 1,000. With some other cards with 2, it's just extra. It's just all extra things that you need to care about, that you need to think about, and never let this card back to 2. This is not good. Don't let this deck back to 2. Thank you all for watching and have a nice day. Thank you very much.